Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as mentioned in previous videos, I am going through a series of 8 videos where I am building a fairly simplistic body mass index or BMI application. I've already built 3 of them. I built the first one in JavaScript, the second one in jQuery, the third one is a C# console app, and now I'm going to make a C# GUI app. So, I've stretched this out just a little bit, but I'm going to throw a few things on here. A label, a label, 3 text boxes. Again, there's many ways that this can be done. If you say, well, I wouldn't do it that way, I do understand. All right, 3 buttons. That doesn't look too bad, just for kind of eyeballing it and the like. So I'm going to bring these over. In fact, I'm not going to bring those over. I'm going to highlight all 3 of these, go to my auto size property and set it to false. Okay. That's not bad right there. The first one will be label height. And I'm going to play around a little bit too with the fonts on all these just so they will show a little better. Bold, 12 point, okay. And I'm going to change the text on there because label 1 is kind of dumb text to height, colon. And I'm going to have the text align go to center right. That isn't bad. Do the same thing here, but this one will become label weight. The text on here will become weight with a colon. We will again put that middle right, and I will change the actual, let's see what else, I gotta bold it. So font. So that's done. And the last one, so I've got label height, label weight. This one will be label BMI. It will have the text BMI colon. It will again be center right. And we will again play with the font and make it, as I have been, bold and 12 point. So that isn't perfect. Doesn't look too bad though. I don't like that background color of my form. I don't like that name of my form, so I'm going to change the name of my form to form BMI. Change the background color. Blue isn't bad, but I don't like that blue. So let's make kind of a turquoise, light turquoise here. That'll work. Let's change the text for our form also. We'll call this, we'll say body mass index BMI C# GUI form. There that is up there. This will become text box height. This will become text box weight. This will become text box BMI. I'm going to take these buttons and make them a little higher and each one a little bit longer. That's too bad. So the first one will become button calculate, and it'll have the verbiage on it, calculate. But again, to try to keep this somewhat of a consistent look and feel, I'm going to again bold it, 12 point it. That looks okay. The next one, again, do the same thing. bold, 12 point. That's good. We will change the name of that one to button clear. We will have the text on the button say clear. That's coming together. The last one will be button exit. Nope, that's where I want the exit. This should just say exit, and it will in a second. Again, I want to change the font on there. So it is bold and 12 point. That's looking pretty good. Now I don't want to be able to change any more of this stuff, so I'm going to lasso that, right mouse click, and choose lock controls. Now I've got a lock, so I can't move my stuff around, and that's good because that's pretty much what I want. I don't know if I took these and set the font accordingly, but I also wanted the font in there to be bold and 12 point. Alright, which made that a little bigger, but this is looking okay. What else do we have to do? Let's set the tab order. So view tab order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do another view tab order so that goes away. This one I want to set so that it's read-only. I could have just made it a label as well. I didn't want to. Back color. Let's make it one shade darker of the turquoise. There's that. Okay. What else do we want to do here? Oh, let's click on here. We'll make our accept button. Calculate. We'll make our cancel button clear, and we'll set the Windows start position to be center screen. Alright, let's save everything and run it to see what it looks like. There it is. Looks okay. Right now I can put anything I want in here, except I can't in there because it's read-only and none of the buttons are operational. We're going to change that in just a moment. Alright, whoops, I didn't want to run it again. So, calculate will go here in just a minute. Clear will go here in just a minute. And exit will go there. Let's write the exit first. I always get a little sense of accomplishment by having that one done. So, excuse me. What I want to put in here in my exit routine is if message box dot show, and what we'll put in here is exit program now. All right, so that'll be the text that comes in here in just a minute. Oh, I got, all right, so comma exit program. This will be the title. It will have message box buttons, which will have just a yes, no, and it will have an icon of dot question, and I will say if after I did all that it equal to dialog result dot yes, which means that what we did was we pressed, we said yes when we were asked if we wanted to end the program. Then I just want to say application dot exit. Well, let's try this. So this button should work now. Do I want to exit program? No. So we're still in it. Do I want to exit the program? Yes. So notice that exit program, that's the capital stuff down here, and exit program now, that's the stuff up here. If I say yes, boom, I'm done. All right. Next, when we click the clear button, we want this to clear, this to clear, this to clear, and we want our cursor to go right there. Not hard. So text box height dot text equal double quote, text box weight dot text equal double quote, text box BMI dot text equal double quote, and finally text box height dot focus. And that should being the opportune word here, make that operational. Calculate still isn't. Clear works. Exit works. All right, so the only code that we have to write yet is our code for our calculate button. I decided I went a little nuts here and wrote it in such a way that it was very similar to what you just saw for the console app. All right, but that meant I had to write some more routines. So I said here, int height equal input height. Int weight equal input weight. Double BMI equal calculate BMI, and that will need both the height and the weight. And then we'll call display all, and we'll pass it in the height and the weight and the BMI. All right, now I'm getting all these squigglies because I haven't written these routines yet. So for now, let's just comment these out, and let's start by writing this first routine. So private void input height, and you notice, boom, that went away, and it shouldn't be a void, it should be an int. Okay, now I'm not returning anything yet, and that's why I'm getting the error. Let's create some constants. So we'll have max min height will be const int min height equal 12. That's the minimum allowed height. Const int max height, we're going to set that equal to 96, so a person can be up to 8 feet tall. Const int, I'm going to call this def height, we'll set that equal to 72. That'll be our default. All right, now I'm going to have another variable in here, or a variable called test, and I'm going to set that equal to a routine that I'm about to write right now called is numeric. Again, I'm getting that error message because this is numeric right now has not yet been written. It's a very short routine, so I'll put it right underneath here. It literally is about 4 lines long. Okay, that fixed that. And if not test, meaning that I put in something that was not numeric here, I'm going to set the height. In fact, I'm just going to return the default height. Okay, but if I get down to here, number entered for height, validate number. So if, in fact, before we do that, int h equal convert.to int 32 text box height dot text. Should be a big T. If h is less than the minimum height, or h is greater than the maximum height. Again, I'm not going nuts here. I'm not putting this in a loop to make them do it if they screwed up. I'm just going to return this. Now there's a lot of different ways this could be written. In fact, I could, I like it the way it is right now. So I can return that, else I just want to return h. In fact, I can make it even simpler than that. I'm going to say here, h equals default height. Then I don't even need an else. I can just say return h. The good news is this whole routine that's right here can be rewritten, copied down below, and that'll become our, did I write? No, I didn't. So let me grab the entire routine from the top, and that'll become input weight. So I've got an input height. Now I will have an input weight. All these h's will have to become w's. I think I copied too much code here. Darn it. Okay. There was input height. Boom. There was his numeric. And clear. Those should go down here. And now I've got, I think I've got an is numeric twice, and I think that's why I'm getting that error. Here's button clear. I've got button clear twice. That's the problem when you do a lot of copy and pasting like this. All right, exit. So, test. This is default weight. All right, coming together nicely. Let's take a look at what we have so far. Might be just about there. Okay, I'm going to put nothing in here, and of course it blows up. Didn't blow up, but didn't take my defaults. Oh, I didn't write my display routine yet, so that's all right. Let's do that. In fact, let's put garbage in here and in here. Clear works, exit works. I got to write my display all routine. Well, I'm going to write both these. So first let's write calculate BMI. that will take the height, which is an integer, and that will take the weight, which is an integer, and it will return weight divided by math.pow height squared times 703.0. Hopefully that was all correct. Now I've got to write the display all. So my text box height dot text equal the height that we entered, whatever that is, dot to string. I don't have to do this, but let's make it numeric 2 decimal places. Take this and copy it twice. So the next one will be the weight, and then finally we'll have the BMI. That's a W. This is BMI, coming together nicely. All right, let's see if we're finished. And we'll go back and decompose it, so to speak. There were errors. Height, weight, BMI. That's a double. Hopefully that got rid of all my errors. Let's run it again. All right. Height, 72. Weight, 177. There's the BMI. Well, I don't know how, but I got 72 in there for both of them. That wasn't right. 72, 111. It's changing the weight. Clear, exit. So we've got to fix that. If the weight entered was less than a minimum or greater than the maximum, set it to the default weight, which should have been 175. Which will fix that. And this should have been 1, and this should have been 777. Like I said, this is just, I'm doing it way too quickly here, but I'm already at 24 minutes almost, so I just wanted to get something up there for you. So 72, 171, 2319, let's clear. 72, 111, 15, clear. 72, 333, clear. What if we put nothing in there? Fills it in for us with our default values. Good job, clear. What if we put in garbage? Fills it in with our default values. All right, so let's literally take a 2-minute look at what we did here. Here is our calculate button. So our height value, our variable height is going to be equal to input height, which we'll look at in just a minute. Our variable weight will be equal to the result of input weight, which we'll look at in just a minute. Our BMI will be equal to calculate the BMI. Input height and input weight don't need any parameters. Calculate BMI needs the height and the width, the height and the weight, I should say. And display all needs the height, the weight, and the BMI because it's displaying everything. Here's our input height. We've got 3 variables in here, or 3 constants, I should say. We'll put this here, minimum allowed height. So this becomes maximum allowed height. And this becomes default. Oopsie. So that becomes the default height. Just grab these. All right, I'm just throwing in some comments here and there. All right, so this will set the height. This will set the weight. This will calculate the BMI. And this will display all input and output. So input height will do just that. We've got a minimum allowed height, a maximum allowed height, and a default height. Got our checks here. Number we're validating. All right. Weight will be pretty much the same thing, except rather than 12 and 96 for the weight, they should be, I don't know what the heck is happening here, 1 and 777. And the default should be 175. I think that's now correct. Again, we test to see if it's numeric or not. If it's not, we just return the default weight of 175. Otherwise, we check to make sure that it's within range. So I can put another comment here. Valid range check. Okay, and then return that. Exact same thing with the weight. The only thing that's different are the numbers here. Return that. Our is numeric, we'll try to make sure that whatever we put into one of our text boxes, we can turn into a number. And if we cannot, it'll return 0. And if it can, it'll return 1. This calculates the BMI, and this prints everything out. And there's our clear button. All right. And then finally, for our exit button, we've got the code that just brings up the message box. That's pretty much it, unless I've missed something, but we'll see. So, how about the person is 60 inches tall and they weigh 125 pounds? Their BMI is 2441. They're pushing it. What if they're 68 inches tall and they weigh 112 pounds? Well, now they're considered underweight. If we put an invalid value there, why didn't it like that? Convert. Try that again. You can see that it's fairly easy to break these programs, so there'd be a lot more that I have to do. 8888, 111. did change it. I wonder if I put a period in there the first time when I did it, and that's why it blew up. So, in this program, we set height equal to the result of an input height method. We set weight to the result of an input weight method. We set the BMI equal to the calculate BMI result. Excuse me. And then we display the height, the weight, and the BMI. So to input the height, we've got three constants here for our minimum maximum height and our default height. We check to make sure that what we entered is numeric. If it's not numeric, we just return the default height of 72. If we get down to line 43 here, as it says, a number was entered for the height. So we have to validate that and then check to make sure it's not less than 12 and it's not less or not greater than 96. If it is less than 12 or it is greater than 96, we set it to the default height of 72. Either way, either directly from here or from here, we return that value. Then we do the same thing with the weight. We've got our three constants for our minimum weight, maximum weight, and our default weight. We've got our test variable, which is a Boolean that's going to be equal to either true or false. If it's equal to false, we just return the default weight, which is 175. Otherwise, we come in here and we set the weight equal to whatever was in the text box. If that number that we set was less than 1 or greater than 777, we just reset it to 175 and we return our weight. Our is numeric, again, is fairly simplistic. So for our is numeric, we are going in there and we are checking to see whether or not the value that was inputted was numeric. All right, we will return the results of trying to parse that into a number. Our calculate BMI, the only little quirky thing here is we put this in there because we want the BMI to be calculated to 2 decimal places and be correct. If I just put a 703 there and not a 703.0, it would be wrong, technically. The display all displays all of our values. I put all of them to N2, which means 2 decimal places. There's our clear, which clears our height text box, our weight text box, our BMI text box, and sets the focus to the height text box, and then our button exit. Hopefully you're getting something out of this, and hopefully it's worthwhile to take a look at these. Feel free to email me at jp, as in Paul, Scott, SCOTT, at rankin.edu, and let me know whether or not this is making sense or it's not making sense. Thank you.